Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone has arrived for my third live streaming session. How is everyone doing today? Write down in the comment box telling that you are having a great afternoon. It is already the onset of evening, 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time and 4 o'clock Dubai Standard Time. So let us start with today's third live streaming session. This is when we would be focusing we would be giving our focus towards the education aspect. And today's educational content streaming session will be based on trading logic, right? How many of you are able to understand what trading logic is? Anyone? Hello, Sophia. How are you doing? I can see that Sophia has been consistently attending our all three live streaming sessions. So that is very good, Sophia. And I wish everyone else also keeps attending all my live streaming sessions, correct? So let me start with by a quick introduction about myself, right? So I am Harsh, and I have been associated with the financial markets and the trading markets. Sorry, in the teaching business of the financial markets for the past 8 years, correct? And my primary focus resides in forex trading and stock trading. I am more of a technical trader. I specialize in technical analysis. Now, it's been 8 years since I have been in the field of trading. Correct? I can see Rocky. Hello, Rocky. How are you doing? Happy to see you here in our live streaming session. And Sophia is writing, watch you live. Thank you so much, Sophia. It is an honor for me to provide you with content. So, in the last 8 years, right, as I was talking, 8 years have passed so quickly, right? It just feels like I had started it yesterday when I had started to learn about the financial markets, and I was so eager to get into the markets and start making money. How many of you feel that time flies, right? Time flies so quickly, correct? So, as you would be seeing me, maybe preferably for the first time, Sophia has been knowing me, Rocky has been knowing me, but a lot of you other people who are new to attending my live streaming session are not exactly aware, right, of what Harsh is, from where Harsh is, why is Harsh having these live streaming sessions. So, if you ask your high network clients around you, most of them will be knowing me. That is the power that you are not aware. If you go and ask your other clients, high net worth clients, right, they all know me by name. So you should be aware that who Harsh is. Now, everyone here in the live streaming session is sharing a common pursuit of wealth, right? Everyone over here has a very similar reason, right? A very similar conscience when they're attending these live streaming sessions. Am I correct? If yes, write down in the chat box and say, Harsh, yes, you are correct. Everyone is coming with a fixed goal in mind, correct? And that is to generate wealth. How many of you agree with me? If you agree with me, say yes in the chat box, right? So everyone is coming here with the main aim of generating wealth. And that is the reason we all have come together for these sessions, right? All the sessions that I have been conducting is because people are having one objective in mind, and that is how to generate wealth, how to generate profits consistently. Am I right? If yes, please write down in the comment box. All right. So, how many of you have heard about trading logic? What exactly is trading logic? Does anyone in our live stream session would want to answer this particular question? What exactly is trading logic according to your perspective? All right, so talking about it, it is basically a structured set of framework based on which one is able to generate profits consistently, right? That is in the overall crux of what trading logic is, correct? So it is basically a summary derived from practical experience and results of practical experience that can be publicly shown and can be observed by everyone. If you can show people physically, Sophia is writing, I can't hear. But Sophia, my voice is correct. I mean, my voice is audible. Um, Rocky is saying, I have heard a lot, but I am not clear about it. Is my voice audible? One second. The audio input is correct over here. Could you just check it again? Because from my side, the voice is clear. Could we have a check? Am I good? Can you again write down in the chat box if my voice is clear? All right, I have heard a lot, but not clear about it. Okay, so I can't hear. All right, so basically, I guess my voice is clear, but there is some kind of miscommunication taking place. But nonetheless, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, right? So I was basically talking about trading logic. For those of you who are not aware about trading logic, it is basically about providing a summary that is derived from practical experience, right? Like how we provide you with hot stock recommendations. We have been providing it to you on a regular consistent basis, and that is how we are showcasing people that it is possible to make money, correct? So that is basically what trading logic is. Sophia is writing, the market is directly talking about how to choose stocks. That is correct, Sophia, because everyone is here to just make money, but that is not good in the long term. You have to be very aware about trading logic, because trading logic is one of the building foundations of one's financial success. People can make money maybe once or twice, but if their trading logic is not clear, if they are not clear with the psychological learning aspect, then nothing can happen, right? They cannot be successful in the long term. I hope everyone is understanding. So now everyone over here is definitely having some kind of dream, right? And as and how life progresses, the dreams change. Maybe when you were in school, you wanted to get into a very good middle school. Once you got into a very good middle school, you wanted to get into a better or one of the best universities. And similarly, if you started to get into the financial markets, you are basically just wanting to generate profits. You want to acquire financial freedom quickly, right? So that is what is everyone's intuition in terms of making money and just getting rich quickly. But that is not the right thing. Let me ask you another important question, all right? And that is, if you want to, first and foremost, you have to be aware that our trading logic session will be called as, one second, let me just type it out, will be basically called as logical buying and logical selling elite class, right? So for those of you who are attending this particular live streaming session, we have termed this particular live streaming session as logical buying and logical selling elite class, because logical trading logic is nothing but buying and selling logic, right? So logical buying and logical selling elite class. All right, now coming to the main important question that I have for all of you. I want to ask all of you, and I want you to ask yourself, right? So ask yourself, if multiplying your trading account by 10 times, would that align with your dreams? I would love to have your answers on this. Would you like to have, if you could, make your account 10 times, if you could grow your account by 10 times, right? How many of you would love to do this? If you are currently having 1 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, and you want to, you can make 1 crores. How many of you would love to make such kind of profits? Write down in the comment box. All right. So we are going to be basically focusing on talking about trading logic. And in trading logic, there are majorly two components that we would be focusing upon, right? So first and foremost, we would be talking about that. But before we continue, it is important to make you aware that this aspiration of having making your account grow by 10 times, this is what we call as our initial intention, right? Please bear in mind, this is very important. The aspiration to have that mindset that yes, we want to make our account grow by 10 times or by 20 times or by 30 times, but the aspiration, so this is called as initial intention, right? And make sure that you don't lose sight of it. It is very important to understand the terminology that I have used. All right, now coming to our trading logic. So our trading logic is basically divided into two components, right? As I was telling you, the first component is going to be psychological learning. How many of you do you understand what is meant by psychology? Sophia is writing, Sophia wants to make lots of money. I just want to make money. Sophia, everyone who is entering into the financial markets wants to make money. But the question is, with money, what else is important to become better, right? So Sophia is writing, I want to achieve financial freedom. That is very good, Sophia. Financial freedom is a very good plan or test or goal that you should be working towards achieving. But for achieving that, you need to be aware of trading logic. So first and foremost, I was asking about the first aspect or the first component of trading logic, and that is about psychological learning. How many of you over here understand what psychology is, right? So psychology is basically related to the mind. Whatever you think, whatever you aspire to become is all related to psychological. So the first component is psychological, and the second is going to be implementation based learning. Whatever you have planned in terms of achieving, how can you convert it into monetary value, right? Through implementation, how you can convert it into profits, right? That is basically called as implementation. How many of you are able to understand this? So let me give you this thing. When people are entering into the financial markets, they only come with the aim of just making money, right? But is that the right way to go ahead? Answer the question. Do you think it is the right way to go ahead? First and foremost, you have to always understand, if you are taking trades in the financial market, if you are trading, there are questions that I have for you. First and foremost, why do you want to make big profits? Why do you want to make big money? Right? Answer the question, answer it in the chat box. And secondly, for whom do you want to make these kind of profits? These are very important questions that need answers, right? So I hope everyone is understanding the two important questions that I have asked you is, why do you want to make big profits in the markets, and for whom do you want to make big profits in the markets, correct? Do you have your answers written? Yes, people are writing. Okay. So coming to the next point, what I have to be telling you is that many people who start initially, entering into the financial markets, they are aspiring, or let me put it this way, their aspirations constantly change. Their aspirations never remain the same. They keep constantly changing, right? For example, when someone opens their trading account, correct? How many of you have trading accounts which you have opened recently? Any one of you who have opened accounts? All right. So if people have opened their trading accounts, what is their first aspiration? Come on, you can answer me. You can write me questions. You can interact with me. So Sophia is writing, to earn a lot of money, eat, drink, have fun, be merry. That is very good, Sophia. So people are basically who start who start initially with their trading account, all they care is about making profits, right? They want to make profits quickly, correct? But when they start trading and some time goes after trading, what happens, right? What happens when people start trading and maybe some time has passed? What happens to the majority of people? Any idea? Rocky is saying I have, right? Okay, so generally what happens for people who are trading is all they do is they just want to recover their losses. They want to come back to break even. So that is the overall aspiration. So they start with a particular aspiration or an intention, and over time that intention changes because they are not clear in what they aspire to become, correct? Sophia is writing, I let the family live a good life and let the children receive good education. How, wow, that's so sweet, right? I mean, that is what we really would love to do by making money in the financial markets, right? So very good job, right? I like all the answers coming in. Sophia and Rocky have been very have been putting in a lot of interaction with me, and that is very good. All right, so coming to the point is that you have to be aware that wealth is merely a means of attaining a particular goal in mind. What is the ultimate goal? Is wealth the ultimate goal as per you? Come on, you can write in the chat box. Do you think wealth is the ultimate motive in life? I am I'm pretty sure for most of you, you might say yes, but ultimately it is not wealth, but happiness and fulfillment is the most important aspect, right? When you are actually thinking of achieving in life. Am I correct? You can write down in the chat box. You can't see or touch transactions in your heart. Okay, I do get the point. Correct. Yes, Sophia. That also is correct. It is all intangible. You cannot feel it. You cannot, see it or touch it. That, of course, makes a lot of sense. Now, so when people start entering the markets, their aspiration is only to make, big money. But when they trade by themselves and over a period of time, what happens is, yeah, so what happens is, this is the time when the markets are sorry, when people who have aspired with a particular mindset, now they change it. Why? Because they are losing money. They just want to get back to break even because they want to come back to zero where they are not having losses, and they only want to come out of the market at break even. So that is also something that you need to be aware of, correct? So many people when we are talking about these terms, remember all the content that we are sharing, right? All this is based on practical, right? These are real time practical scenarios that are taking place, right? How many of you are able to understand? How many of you can connect to what I am saying? When people open accounts, they are like, we will make so much of money, we will do this, we will do that. But majority of them, when time passes by and they are trading by themselves, what happens is everything goes for a toss. They are having losses. Maybe people are blowing accounts. They just want to get back to break even, and all they do is, just wanting to get back to break even and be like, okay, I just want to recover from my losses, and that is it. But so let us talk about the main crux, right? How many people who have been attending this particular live streaming session have been bullied, right? Now I hope the word bully is not the it's like someone who is making you sad, someone who is making you unpleasant. So how many of you who have entered, especially for this particular live streaming, they feel that they have been bullied, and do you wonder why are you being bullied? They don't know why they are being bullied in the financial markets. Is it because of the policy? There are different policies that come out. Are you aware of what policy is? Right, so people do get bullied, or they have an unpleasant feeling, or they come across unpleasant situations where they don't feel good about themselves, right? So policy could be one. The second is institutions. How many of you have heard about the term institutions, right? In the financial markets, everyone talks about institutions are doing this and that, the retailers are losing money. You get the point. So institutions also, people feel that they are bullied. Main funds, how many of you have heard about main funds, right? All these terminologies are, very important when it comes to the financial markets. Policies, institutions, main funds, all these, factors are responsible for, creating that bullying favor in our minds, right? When we are thinking about why people are not successful when it comes to the financial markets, right? They feel they're getting bullied by these three major market players, right? We got policies by the government, we got institutions, and we got the main funds. So investors are always getting panicked. Investors are always feeling sad because they lose money when it comes to the financial markets, right? How many of you are understanding, or how many of you can connect to what I am saying? Right, many people are saying yes, Harsh, we do understand, and we are clearly understanding in terms of these points are relevant, right? Please bear in mind all the points that I am talking are relevant in real life, correct? So you have to be aware that we at Dolphin Markets are FII, correct? What is FII? FII stands for Foreign Investment Institution. These are the big people who move the markets. So if you feel that you are being bullied by them, you need to understand that we can help you in that, because we are a part of FI, and you becoming a part of Dolphin Markets can make you convert it, into getting more knowledge and experience from people and companies who are in the DII field, and that can make you profitable, right? So investors often wonder why they have been bullied, right? And that is why they feel maybe because they are being bullied, so they are losing funds, correct? However, some people are still making money, right? Some people are making money. They are basically following the rule of one winner, two break even, two at break even, and seven losers. What does this mean? Some people are making good money. Some of them are coming out at break even. Sometimes they make money, sometimes they lose money, and some people are only losing money, right? So there are many categories when it comes to, people having been bullied when it comes to financial trading. How many of you are able to understand this? And that is why, you know we can't all become, the 10% winners. That is what people are thinking. Why? Because they want to trade by themselves. They think they know everything, and whenever people enter into the financial markets, all they do is suffer losses, and all they want to do is come back to break even. So this is a particular scenario that people have to be aware of. All right, now we will be basically having, it is important because with the information that I'm sharing, it is, the next point is, if people are being bullied in the markets, shouldn't that make you to understand that there is something that needs to be changed, correct? Am I right? Yeah, write down in the comment box that yes, changes have to be made, correct, when it comes to the markets. And this is where our courses, right? The third live streaming session will be focused on education, where we will be providing you courses, correct? So it is during our courses that we will show you to identify and eliminate these distractions that are causing you problems, correct? Rocky is writing how to be in the top 10% investor and make money. Rocky, the easiest and the best way is just make sure you are attending our live streaming sessions, and whatever hot stock recommendations we share, you please should replicate it on your platforms, and that is how you can be making money and you can be in the top 10%, correct? I hope that answers your question. So we will be providing you with courses in terms of, how to implement strategies, how to make money. So please always be, present for all our live streaming sessions. Now Many people are doing fantastic when it comes to their fields, right? It could be dancing, singing, business, politics, but how many people are successful in financial trading? I want to know your answer. Comment in the chat box. How many people think that they are, they know people who are successful in financial trading? The answer will be very few, right? Very few people are being able to do that well in the financial markets, right? I hope people are understanding why is this the reason for people, because of the points that I had mentioned, right? All that people want to do is people want to get into trading as soon as possible. They want to maybe learn price action indicators, but what they are missing out is trading logic. What is the framework? How to look at it from a psychological perspective? How to implement strategies that are being provided by us? So those are more important than just price action and volume and indicators. That is easy, that is relatively easy compared to the overall major context when it comes to trading logic. I hope people are able to understand, correct? Now, let us talk about the questions, right? So, we had talked about why you want to make big money and for whom you want to make big money. Now, there are four major important questions, right? Sorry, not questions, but components that we would be having to focus upon, right? So, there are four aspects where the entire issue rises, right? In terms of people being bullied, so you have to make a change, and in order to make a change, you have to be basically having certain issues that have to be solved. Now these are the points that we would be looking at in terms of, because these are the points that I have mentioned on the screen. These are the points that have to be overcome, right? Many people who entered into the financial markets are either first and foremost buying too hastily. Everyone just wants to buy. How many of you are having this kind of situation arising when you are trading the financial markets? Right? I hope many of you are telling yes. If you are saying yes, I mean, that is good because you are informing me that you are doing it. But I have to remind you that this is one of the major reasons of people buying too hastily. All they want to do is buy, and that is where they make mistakes. That is where they suffer losses. That is where they have setbacks. So this is the first point. Second point is about selling too greedily. Have you come across a scenario where, for example, you have bought a stock at 100 rupees and the price has gone till 200 rupees, so you have made an additional 100 rupees profit, but now you're like, maybe from 200 rupees it can go to maybe 500 rupees, maybe 1000 rupees. So how many of you have experienced such a scenario where you want to make more? Everyone is wanting to make more, but there is something called as greed, which is there in all of us. We don't want little, we want more. So we want to sell at a later price. Basically we want to close trades with the maximum amount of profit, right? How many of you have been having such scenarios that you have done? Right, many people will be saying yes, and that is also another aspect, right, that has to be worked upon. These are certain aspects that have to be changed. Now third is hesitating to cut losses. Now, do any one of you have gone to the doctor? Right, every one of us goes to the doctor when we are ill. How many of you go to the doctor when you are little ill? And how many of you go to the doctor when you are very ill? Right? So many people will say, why to go to the doctor when we are little ill? Because the doctor will charge and we have to pay to the doctor for fees and we can save money. But okay, but when I ask you if people will go to the doctor when they're very ill, and they will say yes. So many people, what they do is they don't prefer to to go to the doctor to get well quickly. They go after the problem, such as maybe disease or illness has become too big. So when you could have gone to the doctor beforehand to get yourself checked, now you're going to the doctor at a later time when it is very hard to treat your illness. So that is exactly what I'm talking in terms of financial markets. When it is time to cut a trade at a loss, you need to cut the trade. What we think from a perspective is that no, maybe the trade might reverse and go in our direction. That is when the things start to crumble, because now you are expecting or hoping for prices to do. Now sometimes you are sitting maybe at, for example, maybe 10,000 rupees loss. Now that 10,000 rupees loss goes to 15,000 rupees loss. Now you're suffering more losses. Now you're getting more anxious. You're getting more impatient. Now from that loss, it becomes double. So from 10,000 becomes 20,000 loss. From 20,000 it becomes 40,000. Now you're perspiring. You are like sweating. You're like, what to do? So it is not good to keep trades if they're going at a loss running. When it is important to cut a trade at minimal loss, you should take the loss, you should cut the loss, right? And fourth, holding too many positions. How many of you have the habit of holding too many positions, right? So everyone is saying that yes, sometimes we hold too many positions. Yes, diversifying is important, but as a general thumb of rule, it is important that you do not hold more than five, right? So five stocks simultaneously, and I'm talking about the limits of a retail account. So the limits of a retail account in the financial markets, a retail trading account in the financial markets is somewhere between 1000 rupees and it goes till 30 crores. So in this span of the retail trading segment, you have to be sure that when you're taking trades, you shouldn't be taking more than five trades, right? Because more trades placed, I mean, beyond five trades, now you're putting pressure onto the account. So if there are losses that are going against, or if there are, the market is uncertain or very volatile, it can have issues on your account as well, right? How many people are understanding this? All right. So are people understanding? How many people are getting my point? I hope I'm keeping it very simple and I'm keeping it to the overall intention of what I'm trying to provide for this live streaming session, right? So today's introduction is just the beginning. Remember all the points that I've mentioned: buying too hasty, buying too much, selling too greedily, selling when you expect, you want to make very big profits, hesitating to cut losses. When you should cut the loss, you don't cut the loss. And it is when it is, very big loss, it is already too late. So many things are happening, and that is why you have to be aware. These all scenarios that I've mentioned are based on real time, right? These are real scenarios, real time scenarios, correct? So this introduction that we have been mentioning in terms of our, in terms of the content that is being shared today, it is just the beginning, right? We have more courses coming up, right? Almost 10 courses to be precise, and we will be talking in much more detail as and how we are progressing through our live streaming sessions. So I hope everyone is understanding the points mentioned. If you're holding more than five, that is not good. And many of you, when I had asked you the question, they are saying, yes, Harsh, we have a tendency to hold 10 trades, maybe 20 trades. Some people said 30 trades. Wow, now that is, way too much. So should always be just around the limit of five trades, right? If your account is below 30 crores of portfolio value. Now, let's move on to the question on how to restrain ourselves when it comes to the trading process, right? It's very important to understand how we can utilize and control our actions, right? Control our actions based on one second. Controlling our actions basically based on two important psychological behaviors, that is greed and fear. How many people agree with me? Do you understand what greed is? And do you understand what fear is? It's very important about controlling, right? What is, to control in greed and fear, because these are going to be the two terminologies which are very impactful when it comes into trading logic. Everything in the markets, right? How many of you have understood? How many know what greed and fear is? All right. So when we are talking about greed and fear, the entire financial markets, they run on these two psychological behaviors, correct? When people are greedy, markets are going up. When people are fearful, markets are going down. So there's a lot of ruckus, correct? So, but you have to also understand that these psychological aspects that we have talked about, right? These are not just the constraints. They can be a part of the constraint, but the major constraint is mainly based on our initial intention. I hope you have, I can take you back to the previous initial part of our live streaming session when we were talking about our initial intention. What exactly do we want to achieve, right? It is so important to have a very clear idea in terms of what we aspire to become, what we want to do in life, whether it is to make money, whether it is to keep our family and friends and friends and children happy and safe and keeping them comfortable. So that is important. What is your initial intention, right? Greed and fear are also important, but more important than that is our initial intention, because our dreams, once again, right? You have to think about your dreams, like I had mentioned, what you want to aspire, correct? Now, whether it could be financial freedom, whether it could be multiplying your account, or by at least 10 times, right? How many of you would love to do such a thing? It all boils down to the initial intention, whether it's about making money, whether it's about multiplying your account by 10 times, 20 times. That is to be given more priority, right? I hope you all understand, right? And this is what we would be learning, or that is what I would be providing you in terms of, where you would be learning how to follow examples of those who are profitable, and all you would have to do is just directly replicate their profitable strategies. It is as simple as that. Yes, trading is very important, making money is really important, but most importantly, it is greed and fear that has to be overlooked, and most importantly, intention. So, if your initial intention is clear, that is what can propel you when it comes to the financial market, right? Propel you towards making big profits in the financial markets. So, make sure to keep continuing our live streaming sessions, because that is where I would be providing you with all the learning concepts of how to become profitable, and you just have to replicate the strategies of people who are already profitable, right, through their trading strategies. And that is what we at Dolphin Markets have been providing. So how many of you would want to have these kind of aspirations, doubling your account, make growing your account by 10 times, financial freedom, creating a comfortable life for your friends, for your family? There is so much, right, when it comes to aspirations, and it is the initial intention that is most important, right? How many of you agree with me? Now, many people who have joined our live streaming sessions, right? They always are running towards, okay, I just want to make money. So they don't consider the points that I had discussed, right? All the points that I had talked in the entire session till now. They aren't focusing much on that. They are just worried about wanting to hear, mostly about the basic trading concepts, price action concepts, indicator applications, but they need to understand that trading logic is much, much more important than the basic, technicalities or fundamentals as well. If you can work upon your trading logic, that is how you can, start to acquire a successful mindset, a positive mindset. And if you have a positive mindset, you should start to attract more profits, right? You should be able to attract more better trading opportunities. So we have been talking about those. So for those people who are still thinking about, Harsh is talking about some sense, because if everyone is just entering the financial markets just to make quick money, why isn't everyone making money in the markets, right? Majority of them are losing money. So you have to think from your point of view that yes, Harsh is talking sense, because Harsh is talking about trading logic, which includes, psychological learning, implementation based learning. So there is so much that is of more importance than just basic price action, price behavior, and indicator applications. So those are very basic and they are easy. You don't have to worry about that as well. Maybe later in the future we will talk about those concepts as well. But for now, it is most importantly to focus on trading logic. Correct. I hope people are able to understand the most crucial aspect for anyone to be successful in life, right? The most crucial asset for anyone to be successful in life is, having the right mindset. And you can have all the money in the wealth, or you could have no wealth. But if you have the right mindset, you can always make much, much more. So it is not about trading. It's about, having the right mindset in the financial markets, correct? How many of you agree with what I'm saying? All right. So I'm very, very happy that people are paying attention and I'm getting a good amount of response, and people are showcasing optimism, and people are happy looking at my live streaming sessions, because they understand that yes, Harsh is not just providing us with, technical analysis, sorry, with hot stock recommendations when the stock market is running, but Harsh is also providing me with valuable content, right? Content that can make me more successful in the financial markets. Remember, the points that we have discussed today are very, very, very important, right? Trading logic. What were the two different points that we had discussed in terms of whether it is the two different aspects of trading logic, the psychological learning and the implementation based learning? What were the major constraints why people change their aspirations? Because they start with an aspiration but they shift to another aspiration because they do not understand how the markets are functioning, correct? I hope people understand this, and how we can work on it, how we can work on the mindset, how we can work on the psychology. We have discussed so many points, right? How many of you have understood what I'm trying to say? How many of you have gained valuable information in terms of what I have been talking? That is good. Everyone is saying yes, Harsh. It does make sense for you to provide us with so much of high value content, right? Not just trading opportunities, but conceptual, educational concepts which can improve your life, can make you better, right? All the questions that I have discussed, all the points that I have discussed, you should think about it. Remember, wealth is merely a means of achieving a goal. What is most important is happiness and fulfillment, right? Those should be your goal. And these 4 points that people that who have been focusing on, this has to be cut out, right? It is because of these reasons that people are losing money, buying too quickly, selling very lately, or not cutting their losses, and no, and holding too many positions. Many factors are responsible for people to have losses, for people to feel bullied in the financial markets, and that is why you have to make sure that you are controlling your psychological behaviors of fear and greed. How can you control your psychological constraints based on fear and greed? By being clear about your initial intention and having the right mindset, correct? I hope people are able to understand. So coming to the last phase of our session, I want to provide you with a very important um, assignment, right? So this has been basically the first course that has been talking about trading logic, especially when it comes to the psychological learning and implementation based learning. How many of you have understood what I have talked about, right? What I have discussed about. I'm very much sure that people have really enjoyed and have gained some new exposure when when most of the people out there are talking about financial trading, or price behavior. We need to focus on the underlying issue, and that is based on trading logic. So based on this, I have to I have one assignment for you, right? Because of all the content that I have shared today, it might be too much to dissolve, right? To take into, to absorb. So you have to, I'm giving you assignments, and I want you to work on this, right? How many of you are willing to do assignments? Right? Yes. Remember, these assignments are not for me, but for you, because if you're doing assignments for yourself, you are getting better in life, right? Because you're doing it for yourself and not for me. So first and foremost, I want to make sure that you are first assignment for the day, right? I want you to go and identify. Let me just type it out, right? I think it is better if I type it out. All right. So assignments for today. First and foremost, we will be talking about identify your initial intention, right? Very important. What exactly do you want to aspire to or to do, correct? I hope you're getting this. Is going to be your first assignment, right? Let me just correct the spelling. How to identify I'm sorry, you have to identify your initial aspiration or intention, right? I hope I have made it clear. Then we need to be looking at listening to today's session several times. So I want you to listen to this session several times. Very important, because these points, if you are repeating the session and if you keep listening again and again, maybe at the first time that you listen, if you listen for the second time, there might be something that you will pick up more in terms of absorbing more knowledge. Maybe the third time you listen, maybe that is when you will pick up more knowledge. So it is important that you keep listening to this session several times so that you understand the importance of this particular concept. All right. And third, I want you to look into the mirror and I want you to be adjusting your mindset. Yeah. So these are the three assignments that I need to, improve upon, because when I'm talking in terms of concepts, it is very, it sounds very lovey-dovey. It sounds great, but maybe tomorrow, if I ask you about what I had talked to you today, maybe you might be blank. Maybe you might not remember, correct? And that is why it is important to have this assignment in your arsenal, right? Because assignments are nothing but tools that can make you much better, correct? So in terms of assignments, make sure that these three assignments should be done by you. Remember, it is not for me, but it is for you, right? That you can do this and you can get better in the learning process. Because I always say to all my clients and to all my viewers that when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, correct? So make sure that the three assignments that I have provided to you should be done, right? It is going to be for your benefit and your benefit only, right? If you want to achieve your initial intentions and aspirations, you have to work towards it. So put in the work, be diligent, put in the hard work, and there is nothing that can stop you from making the real profits when it comes to the financial markets. So let me repeat this assignment again. Make sure that you are able to identify your initial intention, listen to these sessions several times so that the more you listen to, the better you can absorb more knowledge. And third, look into the mirror and adjust your mindset, because only you know what you want to achieve. No other person can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself, and only you can do it by yourself. So I hope everyone has had a great understanding for this particular live streaming session. Yes, people were thinking that Harsh, you will be talking about technical analysis. Yes, I will be talking, but first and foremost, it is important to start with the main context, right? If I tell you that I want you to drive a car. If you do not know how to drive a car, you have to go to a learning school. If you do not know how to drive a car, and if I have to give you a Ferrari, right? How many of you would love to drive a Ferrari? But if you don't know how to drive a Ferrari, you're going to crash it eventually, correct? So that is the reason, work on the psychological aspect, work on the implementation based, strategies that we are providing. Learn from the best people in the game, because these are going to help you, and these are going to make you a better and well informed trader, right? So I hope everyone has got a very good understanding. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, you can always get back to me, and I will do my best in terms of resolving all your queries and all your questions, right? Mr. Lee is saying yes, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear, right? Even got the rhyme amazing. So yes, Mr. Lee, when Harsh is here, there is nothing to fear. So everyone, let me just give you a very quick overall view of what the overall assignment sorry, what has been the overall summary of the context. And I'm very sure that everyone has got a very good understanding and a very good rhythm in terms of what actually we would be wanting to focus upon, right? So we would be basically having 10 courses, right, that would be provided in the third live streaming session, where we would be providing you with not just the basic, price behavior, indicator based strategies, and basic technical analysis. We want to provide you with advanced concepts that are not even discussed anywhere else, right? So that is the reason it is so important for me to provide you with this, because no one else is providing you with this. Everyone else is behind how to make quick money. We are saying we will show you how to make money, but before making money, you have to improve your trading logic, correct? I hope everyone is getting a clear understanding. So we talked about trading logic, and we would be calling our trading logic classes as logical buying and selling elite class, right? Because we want to be the elite when it comes into the financial markets. How many of you want to be elite? Who wants to be at the top in the financial markets? Everyone is going to say, yes, I want to be, correct? And these were the aspirations that people would be having. How many of you would love to have these kind of aspirations of doubling your account, right, by 10 times? Remember, I mentioned it to you. Most of the high net worth clients that you might be already, knowing about, they already are aware about me. So you should be very well rest assured that you are, in the hands of the right people. You are in the hands of Mr. Harsh, who's going to make sure to keep you, with up to date information, whether it is hot stock recommendations, whether it is technical education, whether it is logical, and conceptual based education as well, right? Trading logic is going to be one of them. So how trading logic was subdivided into two major aspects: the psychological learning and implementation based learning, then the reasons why people want to make money and how their aspirations keep changing. But most importantly, if people have a very clear initial intention in mind, they should be knowing that wealth is only a means to achieve a goal. The ultimate goal is always going to be happiness and fulfillment, correct? I hope people understand the point. These are the four aspects which people should be avoiding. But unfortunately, everyone is making the same is making the same mistake. I am letting you know about the mistakes, because first we have to identify the mistakes and then we have to resolve the mistakes, right? That is exactly what trading logic is all about. So buying too hastily, selling too greedily, cutting, not willing to cut your stop losses, and even holding too many positions, like we said, not holding more than five positions. So there is a lot that people have been doing, and I'm providing you with all the necessary details so that you can stop making these mistakes, and you can follow our strategies, you can follow our concepts, you can keep attending the live streaming sessions, because that is where you can earn and you can learn at the same time, right? I hope everyone has understood a good explanation for today's session. Rocky is writing very good explanation of trading logic, feeling more confident to invest in the market. Thank you, Mr. Rocky. It's very, I'm glad that I'm getting such kind of response and optimism. That is fantastic, right? So make sure that you are able to control your fear and your greed, because these are your biggest enemies when it comes to the financial markets. Make sure to work upon your mindset. Your initial intentions have to be clear. And last but not the least, let me show you the assignment page where sorry, where you can have a quick look in terms of what needs to be looked upon. And please, the assignments are for your betterment, because if you do it, you will get better in life, right? How many of you are going to do the assignment that Harsh has provided? All right, everyone is saying yes, Harsh, I will do it. I will do it. So I hope everyone had a very good learning and had a very insightful knowledge. I hope I could provide you with good amount of useful information that is not being discussed by other people, right? So this is the overall first course that has been more aligned towards trading logic, right? I hope everyone has had a good understanding. Please make sure to arrive again for my first live streaming session tomorrow, because tomorrow the federal funds rate will be announced before the market opens. So we can be expecting volatility. So we will keep a look at the markets and we will identify for better opportunities as well. We will analyze the markets and find better opportunities, more opportunities in the markets for you, so that you can make more money, right? I hope everyone has had a good day. Everyone is charged, everyone is feeling optimistic and is happy with today's session. So thank you everyone for attending my live streaming session. It's been very great, and I'm happy that I'm able to provide you with valuable content. So please make sure to arrive for my first live streaming session tomorrow, and until then, have a great evening. Namaste and take care. Bye bye.